Welcome to Pario Magazine, where I chat with individuals who have a desire to create. Today, I'm joined by a photographer who has had their work published on the cover of FHM, featured in Maxim, Penthouse, Inked Girls, and the Australian Pole Dancers magazine. Welcome to Pario Magazine, Emma Salmon from The Blacklight.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. So we're here today to chat about your journey in the world of photography. Before we dive into all of that, though, who is Emma when you're not behind the camera?
um, my main value in life is to have fun and laughter and find joy in life. So I love nature. My big love is music and DJing, house music. What else do I love? Animals. And so honestly, I just fill my days with when I'm not shooting, editing, and all the other work stuff, which takes up quite a lot of my time. It's just filled with fitness, eating well, enjoying life, music, DJing, happiness, friends, joy, amazingness. Like I really love to see the positive in the world and just in general. So yeah, I try and fill my moments of joy with amazing people and amazing things.
Okay. It sounds like there's a couple of creative passions there for you, the photography and the music and DJing.
The music. Yes, absolutely.
Is the music thing, is that just kind of a side hobby passion thing, or is that also like a bit of an
It's
income stream as well?
something, I mean, it's been off and on for many years, but I do want to make it a bigger thing for sure. I've been going to clubs since I was about 16. And I just love house music so much. I lived in Ibiza for a few years. I've just always been a big muso. Worked in the music industry for about 15 years as well prior to becoming a photographer. And yeah, I just have always loved music. It just gives me so much life. And so in terms of a revenue stream, I definitely want to head down that road. And that's where I'm aiming for at the moment. So every day I practice, I record mixes, all that type of stuff. So definitely it's on my next path of where I'm heading, hopefully, fingers crossed, but I'm gonna make it happen.
Okay, brilliant. So then in terms of the photography, when and how did you discover that passion?
That is a random one. I was with a friend who was doing a photo shoot herself, and she said, "Oh, come along with me." And so I went along, never picked up a camera before, and just decided to jump in on the shoot. And it was so much fun that I thought, "Oh, I can do this." I've always had like a creative eye in terms of like I knew how to do Photoshop, and the way I see the world is quite like obviously visuals, but in terms of like I look at things like architecture and nature and everything. So I always had a visual eye for things. And I just thought, oh, I could do this. I don't know where it came from, but I just thought I wanted to try it. Asked my photographer friend what camera to buy, bought a camera, went on like a total beginner's course. Literally, I didn't know anything. I didn't even know how to turn it on. I didn't understand all the technical terms. In fact, often I still don't. I'm not very technical in terms of how I work. It's just more intuitive. Yeah, and I did a total beginners course, and then from there I picked it up quite quick. I think it just felt natural to me. I'm quite good at technology. I'm quite good at learning technologies quite quick from scratch. So that wasn't the hard part. The hard part, I guess, was finessing everything into a stage that I was happy with.
Yeah, and then some of those cameras these days, they're quite complex, quite technical. There's lots of settings and everything you can dig into.
The best way I can describe learning to use a camera with like in a manual setting, not on auto, like how the aperture, the ISO, and the shutter speed all work together was the same as when I learned to drive a car. So I learned to drive a manual, and at the beginning of driving a manual, you have no idea what's going on. Nothing makes sense. You have to think of all the things constantly and you're stalling and everything. And that's the same as when I was learning to use a camera, and none of it made sense. I didn't understand how the settings intertwined to each other. and then one day it just worked, a bit like driving a car. It just came naturally, and now it's natural. But yeah, the cameras are quite complex when you delve a little bit deeper. But there's just one day where it flips a switch and it just feels natural, and you're not thinking about it anymore.
Yeah, and I guess it's just a matter of getting that experience and fiddling with different bits and pieces to see what does
Totally.
what and how it affects the final product.
Exactly that. And then for me, my finished product actually is more to do with my editing style. So some photographers don't retouch at all, some do. Like, it just depends on your style and what you prefer. But for me, to get the finished look of my photos, it's very much about spending many hours retouching, color grading, really finessing how the final photo looks.
Okay, brilliant. So then, like, going through your portfolio, there is quite a range of styles, and it's like very diverse, and obviously you're quite adaptable in terms of studio shooting, outdoors, different like concepts for the photography. Is that something important for you to sort of get the creative bug fed?
Is exactly spot on. Yeah. I I just it's I was going to say I get bored, but I don't get bored. I just get excited by new things. I still love to do what works and what people know my work for. You know, a lot of the girls come to me and say, I want that exact shot or that exact location or whatever. And I love doing that for clients because they have seen something and they want to kind of not replicate it, but they want to achieve a similar look. But the thing that excites me is thinking up new ideas, pushing boundaries, learning new lighting, trying new styling, working with new models, just trying anything. And honestly, I do get scared in the lead up. Like, that is, I think that's good. That shows that you care. It shows that you are, I guess, humble and not thinking, oh, I'm just the best, I'm going to smash this. Like, I am absolutely nervous in trying new things. I think I'm going to mess it up or just not know. And there have been loads of times where I have messed things up or not known, but then other times I've just pulled things off miraculously and I'm like, oh, go me, well done. So yeah, I love trying new things. I guess I just don't want to be stale in ideas because there's only so many times you can shoot on the same wall without becoming a bit like stale or bored of it. So yeah, I definitely love new ideas. I use a lot of my icons as inspiration. I have a lot of photography books that I look through. Um, yeah, a lot of fashion magazines, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I'm always taking inspiration. I'm writing down ideas. I have a big notes list of things that I would like to try. But often it's waiting for the right time, whether that be the right model, the right location, the right styling. And once all those things fall into place, then I'll try the idea.
And then I guess, yeah, if it's an outdoor shoot, the weather would play a big part as well. Like, you might have the perfect location, the perfect person, the perfect concept for the shoot. And then you get there and it's raining and it's gross. And you're like, oh, well, that ruins that.
Well, I mean, I would, if that would be the case, if it was such a big shoot, I would cancel it like a couple of days before if it was forecast rain. So I'm pretty like strict in not going ahead and unless it's everything's perfect for like these concept shoots, I mean.
Yep. And then a lot of your photos also are quite intimate. Do you feel that by being a woman yourself, that makes the entire process a little bit less daunting for the models, whether they're experienced or someone new to the industry?
I would definitely agree with that. Yeah, being a female, I'm honestly like the ultimate hype girl. I like, my love language is words of affirmation. So the way I speak to people is very much like, you're amazing, you're this, you're that. Like, I fully am hyping people up while we shoot. And that's a big like my most common feedback, I guess, is after people shoot with me, how good they feel about themselves. And so I like to give a whole experience. It's not just about doing a nice photo and looking at that going, I had a nice photo. Like, I think a lot of girls come to me and they leave feeling better than they've ever felt. They go on and have confidence after the shoot. So in terms of being a female shooting, I definitely think adds a layer of comfort to know that there's no kind of underlying sexual tension or whatever it might be. And I'm not saying all male photographers are like this. There's so many great male photographers who are very respectful and not like that. But definitely in the industry that I'm in, I'm aware of a handful, if not more, of male photographers who have overstepped the mark.
Mm.
And a lot of girls who have gone or been in those situations and then come and shot with me, and not even necessarily just me, other female photographers as well. They just definitely notice the difference on how comfortable they feel. And I will never push anyone to do anything that they're not comfortable with. I'll always wait for them to suggest to me. So I'm talking like nudity or anything like that, or just even a little bit more of like a sexual pose or whatever it might be. I would never push anyone to do that. And I think that shows because the girls are comfortable, because, you know, we're just, like I said, I'm the ultimate hype girl. And then if I've got my stylist and my makeup artist here, it's an all-girl team, and the models feel super comfortable, and that's our aim. No one wants to feel uncomfortable. It's very vulnerable being a model in a photo shoot with people you don't know, so you've got to make everyone feel amazing.
Yeah, I think we've all sort of heard those horror stories of someone goes on a photo shoot and there's half a dozen different people there, and yeah, they just feel very awkward in that situation.
For sure. Like, to be semi-naked in front of a room of strangers who are all dressed, like it's awkward. And I've been a model on the other side. Oh no. Is that matter with the dogs barking?
That's okay.
Okay. Sorry.
And when you have sort of an inexperienced model coming to you for the first time, do you find that that's why they're coming to you, to sort of get that sort of self-esteem boost?
Yeah, I mean, people come to me for a variation of reasons. Some people need the photos for work. Some people just want to do something to push themselves. And definitely, I get a lot of first timers. So people are just coming to me to get photos of themselves to make themselves feel better. Whether it's, oh, I turned 30, or I just was feeling a bit bad about myself and I just wanted to do something to feel good, or I need photos for something specific. And with people who are first timers, because like I said, I do shoot with a lot of people who have never shot before. They come in all nervous and say, oh, but I'm not like the girls on your website, or I'm not like people who you post on your Instagram. And then by the end, they are one of the girls. So I give a lot of direction and a lot of encouragement. And at some point, if someone's really stiff, you know, I will literally go and stand next to them and do the pose for them. And so like, just do this, move your legs to the left, leg to the right, you know, like, you know, look over that direction. So I'll give a lot of direction for sure.
Do you take sort of great joy in them after it being like, oh, I feel great about myself now?
Oh my God, yeah, it's incredible. Like, how could you not? Like, how is that my job? It's crazy that someone can leave, you know, and the messages I get after are just incredible. Like, thank you so much. I've never felt so good about myself. Like, I can't believe that was me, you know, all those moments. And yeah, like it's quite magical for sure.
And with those first timers, is the whole sort of lead up into doing the shoot, is that a bit more lengthy than if it's someone experienced when you're kind of developing a concept for their particular shoot?
Yeah, you definitely notice the nervous people in just from either the amount of messages I have before or just the type of questions that they ask. You know, they'll ask everything down to the finest detail. But I think that just comes from that obviously comes from a good place. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just that someone maybe who is maybe more of an anxious disposition, they might be nervous about everything, and that's just their nature. And they just don't know what to expect. If you've done a shoot or many shoots before, you know what you're walking into. But if you've never done one before, then you have no idea. So you feel like you might want to ask a lot of questions. So yeah, people who are maybe nervous or just unsure for whatever reason definitely do ask a lot of questions. And then even like the ones who are experienced, it's rare that someone comes with a lot of ideas, and I actually love that. I love when people come in and they're like, right, this is what I want, this is what I'm thinking, let's discuss. And then those types of creative people, we can kind of explore and go a little bit crazy, because those types of people are willing and happy to, like, I guess, try something new, try a concept rather than just what they've seen before.
Yeah, and I guess you get that sort of collaboration, which you might not get otherwise, where it's like both of us are putting
Absolutely.
into this. It's not just, oh, here's my idea, you are in the image.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And looking through your portfolio, two concepts really stood out to me as very unique: the reflective tape and the
Oh
projection
yeah.
shoots. How did you develop
Oh
those
yeah.
two concepts?
Oh, so the reflective body tape, I have to give full credit to Joel from the Black Tape Project. And he is the person who created the body tape concept, I guess. And I met Joel in maybe 2018, I think, on a like a photographer stroke model trip in Tulum in Mexico, and he put on the event, and then I learned from him how to do the tape. So I ended up staying at his house in Miami for a while. He taught me a little bit more taping, and then he also sells the tape. So I bought the tape from him and brought it back to Australia. I think I was pretty much one of the first people to do it in Australia. But because I'd learned from Joel, who was basically the creator of it, I had a good start. And he always supported me and reshared my photos. And from there, I just basically made it a concept shoot. And now a lot of the girls that I shoot with love the idea and come to me. So I'm the one who does the taping. And each design is created on the day to fit that person's body. So I'll try and cater to, the shape of their waist, the shape of their bum, the shape of their boobs, just to accentuate their body as best they can. And also if they want to hide something or show something specific, like if they want to show their cleavage, I'll make sure I do a cutout. If they want to show their stomach because they've got good abs, I'll cut out there. Same with but that's honestly like a big shoot. That's about a 4 or 5 hour shoot because the taping takes me so long, and then we go and shoot somewhere. But honestly, it's very what's the word? It's very kind of empowering, and it's a strong look. So it has to be, so people who are coming to do those shoots are definitely not shy, although they might have shy moments, but they need to feel confident because essentially they're standing there naked while I'm taping them for an hour. So it needs to be someone with definite confidence. And then even the look of the shoot, it's very warrior like and very powerful. So even the posing that we do isn't kind of demure and pretty and innocent. It's very strong posing. So yeah, I love those types of shoots, and people come away and feel awesome, as you can imagine. The projection shoot honestly was just something that I just had in my head. I had seen, like, I'm not saying I created it. I had seen other people in over the years use projections to shoot with. But it's just something that I just thought was so cool and unique. And it is actually quite a niche shoot. Not a lot of people are into it. So to find models to do it, it's a smaller end of my shoot concepts that don't sell as well, but when people do it, they absolutely love it. And I just spent ages and ages just searching and searching for good images to project with and work with, because some, that was like a bit of a learning process. Some work really well, some just absolutely do not. And yeah, it just depends on the image, on the model, how well they're moving. Also the background has to be really clean. So like a clean white wall works best. Yeah, I really enjoy those, but I haven't done one in probably a couple of years, so I need to bring those back.
Yeah, I imagine they're one of those ones where you find the image or the pattern that you want to project, and then you shoot it out and you're like, oh, damn, that doesn't look anything like I expected it to.
Totally. Like the ones which are really busy and have a lot of detail, you're looking at on your computer screen and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get that one, and it just does not work because it just you just lose the shape of the model in it. So ones with a lot of clean white and maybe like one strong image in a dark in the middle or something like that. But yeah, like patterns work well. Yeah, it was just a learning process with that, honestly.
Yep. So then for you, if you reflect on your career, is there one specific photo shoot that you're particularly proud of?
Oh, no, there's not one. I can't pick. That's like
It's
asking me to
like,
pick my favorite child.
yep.
You can't ask that. No, there's not one, but I would say it's more down to a whole. Oh, no, I can't pick one. I mean, there's definitely like top 10.
Yep.
Top 10. That's what I'll have to pick. That would come down to definitely the model. Like honestly, if anything, if all else fails, if I had a good model, I'll have a good shoot. So sometimes, like for example, I had this concept and I'd been wanting to do it forever, and I booked all these elements to go in the concept, and it was quite expensive. And I had this model lined up, and I thought she was going to be amazing. I'd never met her before, and she came to the shoot, and she was really awkward, really nervous, like really self-conscious, and just spent the whole time going like trying to cover up, even though she wasn't naked. She was in like a swimsuit, and it literally just failed. It just failed because of the model, and the concept was all there. Like I'd spent thousands on various things, and yeah, the model kind of failed because of her being nervous, being self-conscious, not moving well. She was still pretty, but it doesn't matter if you can't model, and you know you're booked to model, then yeah, it just failed. So I think I'm going to redo that concept at some point. So asking me to pick my favorite ones, I mean, like I did an epic one with a stunning model called Josie, and we wanted to do animals. She really wanted to do something kind of wild, and so we booked an owl, like a
Oh,
bird,
cool.
for her shoot. And we also booked a hawk or a falcon. I can't remember which one. I think it was a falcon. But this model is awesome. I really, really love shooting with her. She's really powerful looking. And she's very intuitive and like into animals and everything. And so she just had this owl on her arm. And oh, she was just epic. She looked like some kind of warrior princess. So that's definitely up there. Shooting with horses, shooting with all animals is awesome. And then just shooting new concepts that I've never done is probably up in my top 10 too. Like ones that I'm just like, okay, I've just got to try this, and then it comes out of nowhere and it works.
Yep. Don't worry, that's a pretty common answer for when I ask any creative to pick one of their favorite things. It's
You
always,
can't.
I think, and that just shows how much passion everybody puts into their particular art form and creative passion. Like they are like your children, every single one.
Yeah, and you love them for different reasons too.
And so then looking ahead to 2024, is there anything special on the horizon that people should be on the lookout from you?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I definitely like in terms of photography or in general, like definitely I'm going to get the DJing off the ground. But I am in the Gold Coast now in this wonderful house, and it's a shoot location. So I'm going to be pushing this more as a shoot location, to for hire, but also for me to shoot in. And I have new concepts which I want to try, and if they work, then I'll be offering them for like for people to book as well. Um, and apart from that, I don't want to give my concepts away because they'll get stolen.
Yes.
And then I won't be able to do them. So no, we just have a few new concepts basically, and I just want to try pushing the boundaries. I just like we said before, I love to try new things, and um I yeah, I don't really know where I go from that. Just new ideas and new fun.
Yep. Yeah. Just keep everything fresh and exciting for you as well as all of the models and everything as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah.
So in that sense, finally, where is the best place for people to support you and track your creative journey to see these new concepts come to life?
Oh, okay. So probably Instagram. It's the Black Light Sydney. I had to choose Sydney because I was Sydney based at the time and the black light was already gone. My website is theblacklight.com.au. So probably Instagram and my website are my main players. And come and support and love and book and all of the above.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me, and good luck with everything in 2024.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and thanks for your support.